Are you curious about what's going on with the Middlesex County real estate market? Well, today you're in luck because I have the scoop for you. In this video, I'm going to discuss the latest trends in Middlesex County real estate, including what the average price is, how much inventory we have, and just, you know, real life examples of what's going on. So stay tuned. Hey there, if you're new here, my name is Claudia Muniz. I'm an agent with eXp Realty and I serve the central New Jersey real estate market. So with April's numbers being in, I like to do these videos just to kind of recap and then also give my forecast at the end. So here's what we saw in the month of April. To start off, the average sales price is up from last month. So for April, the average sales price was $466,000 and change. That's up from the month of March. Now, I know I had a few comments on some of my other social media sites saying the market did go down a little bit in winter and that I was wrong, that it was going to continue to go up. Well, seasonally, we do tend to see a little bit of a dip in winter, but typically by February, March, the prices start to skyrocket straight up until about August, and then we see a little bit of a cool down in the fall. So if you're a buyer, you know, and you're trying to lock in the best price for a home, what I generally recommend is obviously stay on top of it, because you know, you don't want to try to time the market perfectly and then miss out on a home that's actually perfect for you. But what I've noticed year over year is that the holidays are sometimes hit or miss as far as, you know, if everybody's going to be out shopping for a home. So with Memorial Day coming up, you know, that might be a good opportunity. Also, 4th of July weekend, it's hit or miss. You know, it all depends on how people prioritize the holiday and if they want to go out and have fun or continue house shopping. So, you know, you may want to prioritize your home shopping over partying those weekends, because I tend to see that, you know, sometimes people take the weekend off and they end up missing out on a great opportunity. So that's yours to capitalize on. I also tend to notice that towards the end of the summer, people tend to go on vacations right before school starts, that sort of thing. Usually people who are buying for the school system or buying into a different school system, they're already pretty much settled into whether or not they purchase something, or if they're going to put their shopping on hold by, you know, late summer. So that might be another good opportunity for you to sneak in there. Would I suggest stopping until those times? You know, stopping your search? No. I would recommend that you continue searching, but just generally that's what I've noticed year over year. So what we are still seeing as well is the days on market are continuing to plummet. So homes are getting scooped up super fast. So if you are a buyer and you want to purchase something, you got to jump in there right away or it's gone. A lot of the times, you know, it gets listed and then, you know, by the end of the weekend, they've already called for a highest and best deadline. Another reason why I wouldn't recommend pausing for those holidays is you'll definitely miss out on something. On average, it takes about 28 showings to get a home under contract. So if you are a seller, you have to have something lined up right away. So in April, we saw a decrease in number of homes for sale. So this is a little bit devastating for home buyers because, you know, inventory was already tight coming into March, and now it's worse. when normally we would see things get better this time of year, you know, spring, we usually see an influx of new listings. This was not the case from March to April, so we're hoping that April showers bring more listings for home buyers, so that would be nice to see, but as of now it is still going down. But unfortunately for home buyers, there was an increase, just not the increase we want to see. The average list price to sales price ratio has gone up, so it was around 100% and now it's 102%. So if you're looking to buy a home in Middlesex County, you can pretty much expect to pay very close to list price, if not above list price. I've seen in several instances within the last few weeks that homes are selling for $50,000 above the asking price or more. I've had several situations in the last couple of weeks where my clients have placed an offer and they're one of 8, 15, 20 offers. Now, this can be very location specific, but nationally there is a lot of people looking and not enough homes on the market. So simple supply and demand. So what I recommend for buyers right now to have a competitive edge when submitting your offer and you're competing against multiple offers. Number one, if you are getting financing, I highly recommend getting pre-underwritten. I've talked to several people who come to me with pre-approval letters from other lenders, and I explain to them the power that comes with being pre-underwritten, and 99% of the time they have no idea what I'm talking about. So number one is to link up with a lender who can help you strategize, come up with your strongest offer and terms, and hold your hand through the process. Another thing, I'm going to backtrack here, but another thing that I've noticed with lenders is sometimes they will go over your credentials. They'll issue you a pre-approval letter and they'll say, okay, go ahead, have fun home shopping. And you will have not the slightest clue how much money you have to put down, what your closing costs look like, what your monthly payments look like. Now, I've had clients get pre-approved for way beyond what their comfortable housing expenses are monthly. So this is why it's so important to have a lender who's going to hold your hand, walk you through it, consult with you about what your goals are specifically. What monthly payment are you comfortable with? Okay, so now I'm done with that part. Obviously connect with me to get a great lender. So getting pre-underwritten means that you have given the lender all of your documentation. They've submitted it to underwriting, and basically your offer becomes almost as good as cash at that point. All it's subject to is the appraisal and title work. So assuming that the seller doesn't owe the IRS a bunch of money, you should be almost as good as cash. So technically, when you are pre-underwritten, you can close in as little as 2 weeks. Now, that's a very aggressive timeline. Do you necessarily want to close in 2 weeks? Probably not. You probably want to give yourself more like a 30-day closing, but this is extremely powerful, especially when you're going up against cash offers. I've had it happen recently too. So if you're able to have that slight competitive edge and you are actively looking for a home, I highly recommend going through this process. Another thing I would add to your offer to increase its strength is limiting your inspection contingency. So the way I word this is buyers will limit their inspection requests to major structural, environmental, or mechanical items only. So what this does is it gives the seller some peace of mind that you're not going to nitpick on things, but it also gives you peace of mind that any big ticket expensive items that come up in your inspection are still negotiating points for you. You're not automatically accepting that by limiting your inspection contingency. Last thing I would recommend, especially with how competitive this market is incorporating an appraisal waiver into your offer. Obviously, this would vary depending on your financial circumstances to see if it's even possible. But I'm noticing that offers without in it any sort of appraisal waiver are not even being considered because there's just so much competition right now. So on the flip side for sellers, what I recommend for sellers, before you go looking at homes, I know sometimes you think that's the first step, but before you start looking at properties, figure out what you expect to get for your house, if not already have a contract on it. Most people cannot afford 2 mortgages. So what I recommend to sellers is have your home ready to go on the market. Know what you're going to get for your property and get pre-approved. That way you're already set to go once you do find a house that you like. Many sellers are not even considering offers with a home sale contingency. Now, you could take a risk and go this route, or you can explore options like a bridge loan, which would allow you to buy the next property before selling the first one. So there are some options there, but generally the safest route for you to go is to put your house on the market, secure a contract so you know exactly what you're going to get for your house, then go get pre-approved, and then you can start shopping. Most sellers, if they're going to entertain a home sale contingency, it has to be further along in the transaction than I just accepted an offer. They typically want to see that you've gotten through your inspection contingency, because that's usually one big hurdle where people cancel the contract, and that if there's not an appraisal waiver on your property, that they've gotten through the appraisal contingency, and that there's no issues there, and that your buyer's not going to back out. Oftentimes when the home you're trying to purchase, that seller needs to buy a home, it's less likely they're going to entertain a home sale contingency. So having that further along in the process can help you get your offer accepted. One more thing that might help you is when you're negotiating on the sale of your home, you may want to negotiate a use and occupancy for yourself. So that means that you would close on your house and you would rent back your house from your new buyer. The maximum amount of days you can do this for is 59. Once you cross the threshold of that 60th day, it looks to the mortgage company that you're renting it full time from the new buyer, and now it looks like they're an investor and they're put in the wrong type of loan. So it gets really hairy there. So the maximum amount of days is 59. So this would allow you to have the money in hand from your sale, get situated, secure your next purchase, and then be able to slowly move things over from your current home to the home you're purchasing and create a seamless transaction for you. So I definitely recommend that as a strategy in order to ease the stress of selling and buying at the same time. Another thing I would recommend for actually anybody looking right now, if you're looking to get more bang for your buck, open up your location options. Generally in New Jersey, the further like north, west, southwest, or just generally south, with the exception of some beach towns, you'll definitely get more for your money there. So if you don't need a certain commute, you're just looking to stay close to family or something like that, I highly recommend exploring or expanding your location options. Get more bang for your buck, you know, especially if you're going to be stretched to, you're paying a lot of money, and make sure you get what you want. So that's the New Jersey real estate market for April. Moving forward, I still expect to see inventory be very tight. The interest rates are starting to loosen up a little bit. It varies day by day, but they've gone down a little bit, and they're projected to continue to go down. So what happens when the rates go down further is that you're going to have more competition. You know, everybody who waited by the sidelines and said, oh, I'll wait to buy for when the rates go down, they're going to come back out of the woodwork. And now, you know, where you were experiencing 10 to 20 offers, maybe it's going to go up, or maybe the asking price just goes up again. You know, the appreciation year over year has been slower this year, but if the rates go down, that appreciation is going to go right back up. Another thing I would tell people who are waiting at the sideline is, you know, if you're going to become a homeowner and this is something you want, don't hesitate. I know the media creates a lot of mixed messages about housing market crash, but I'll let you know a little secret. The big banks and big corporations, they're still buying real estate. So what that's going to create down the line is that is more renters, because the banks are buying real estate to hold on to it to rent out. So now they've effectively priced you out of the market. So if you want to have the opportunity to even get your dream home, maybe now you get a starter home, and that way you have something to trade up with down the line and something that's going to appreciate down the line. So if you're on the fence, you can't play the game if you're not in it. You need to have some skin in the game. So you know, if you have any questions about the market, or you have specific locations you're looking at and you want to understand that specific market better, reach out to me. We'll go over it. What I've noticed too about more South New Jersey, I service Ocean County as well. So in Ocean County, I had clients in the $600,000 to $700,000 price range, and I've noticed that there's not only a lot more to pick from down that way, but there's also a hefty amount of new construction. So if you want a new construction property and you want it to come at a reasonable price, I would definitely head down that way. You'd definitely be closer to the beach as well. And there seems to be a little bit less competition that way. There's still competition, but instead of, you know, 15 to 20, maybe it's 5 to 10 offers. So any little bit helps. You have any questions about specific areas, or you'd like to take a look at some homes, feel free to reach out to me. And if you've liked this video and you'd like to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.